Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to another recording session of Hearthstone. Turns out this week I can complete quests while challenging a friend. That's nice. That gives me the benefit, I suppose, of playing my second account if I just want to save some time. But we'll see. Let's trade out this. We need Druid, Rogue. 5 games of Druid and Rogue. Wow, that's quite a bit. Shaman class cards and Hunter class cards. Do we have a new Tavern Brawl to play? Yes, we do. Let's see what the Tavern Brawl is this week. Magical creatures are escaping. Play a minion and get a random spell at the same cost, but for free. So, if we need to play Hunter class cards, I suppose that would work, or Shaman class cards. I think Shaman class cards would work better here, so Shaman, choose, and then Evolve is a good one. Overload. Let's just make a full-on Overload deck. Yeah. Let's see. These two. This one. Deal 2 damage. Take these two. Let's see. Take these two. Deal these two. These two. Let's see. These two. These two. Maybe that one. Deal 2 damage. I'll mark all your overload cards. Deal 5 damage. Nice. Deal 4 damage to a minion. We'll take a couple of that. We'll take a couple of those. And let's see. Gain 1 to 4 attack. And let's see, we got 2 more to deal with. We'll take these 2 cards. A lot of spells there anyway, so I'm probably not building the greatest deck for this Tavern Brawl, but fine, whatever. So before I even get to my list of things to talk about here, the day came finally. It was 2 weeks that I put my hat in, my name in the hat, as far as it was for the r/Diamond Club Reddit to be shouted out on the Night Attack podcast for my channel, and then for 1 week they were in PAX South and didn't shout out anybody, and then the second week came and they did shout me out, and I am extremely happy that they did and what they did. There's only one small thing, but it's such a tiny thing I shouldn't even bring it up. But I'm a kind of negative person, or because I'm a critic. Hey, that's what critics do, is we criticize. Is they said they mispronounced, well, I think Neshcom was the president, mispronounced my name on my link. So YouTube, www.youtube.com/c for channel /Rydo of all, RYDOOFALL, no spaces, is what my link is. But he mispronounced it as instead Rydo Fall or Rydo Fall, which I guess, okay. I mean, it's a stupid made up nomenclature anyways, if that's the right phrase, which probably isn't. But and maybe I'll embrace Rydo Fall as the link, but it's supposed to be Rydo of all. I just use the of all in logins when they don't just like Rydo by default. So, but beyond that, they covered my channel. They clicked on the link. They showed my channel. One of the hosts, I never get the hosts right. I always get them mixed backwards because I listen to them on the podcast, and then it happens a lot when you're listening. When I'm listening to podcasts, one person's voice is what I think is the other person's voice. So I think it was Brian was like he wanted to see the videos. They went to my YouTube channel. They saw that I had released 6 videos there. That's what I'm doing right now because I'm doing the extra honey pop thing. And he was thinking, oh, the videos are gonna be like 5 minutes long. Well, I'm just gonna say I like a game, I don't like a game, and that's how I got up to 4,000 videos that I've recorded. Maybe I haven't actually aired 4,000 currently at this point, but trust me, when I look at my YouTube thing and I have things scheduled up to happen months in advance, there's definitely 4,000 in my setup. Let's see, let's try doing this. So yeah, I imagine a YouTuber could do that. They could cover a game and just say I like it and only cover it for 5 minutes and do like extremely short quick looks. But that's not what I do. I do long plays, and he was, I don't think he'd ever heard the phrase long plays because he looked kind of bemused by it. I suppose also, yeah, it's probably a massive amount of more work than you would expect for a YouTuber to do. But my special circumstances of not really being able to leave the house makes this my job, which allows me, if I'm not being lazy, to spend 8 hours or more a day recording, which I honestly don't do. I do maybe 6 hours every day, and then because I work on the weekends too and never take a break, although I do take some days off, usually Hearthstone days, or I'll work for just the Hearthstone recordings and not do much more, if anything. That certainly allows it. They did say that if Diamond Club wants me to cover a game, I'll do that. That is true to a certain extent. I am, however, a human being that has certain preferences. So if they wanted me, for instance, to play a game that I know I'm just going to hate and do a bad job at because I'm going to hate it, I don't see how that really helps anybody or does anything that would help anybody. But I'm pretty flexible. Generally, this falls under the category, if you're new to my channel, if you want to watch me play Counter-Strike Go, or Call of Duty, or something like that, that's a first-person shooter that's a very popular AAA game, I may very well cover those games, but it's not going to be for long. It's not going to be my channel forever. In a similar way, I've done a few Minecraft things, but I'm not going to just be a yet another Minecraft only channel. Let's see, how many cards do they have? 18. If I can make them draw 2 cards, I might defeat them that way. But otherwise, it's then only a matter if I have the game, what I cover. It also might very well be if I get a lot of requests to play a game, I might go out of order, and that might suffer and mess up my pre-recorded retrospective series. That almost everything on my channel is kind of a pre-recorded retrospective game. Even if I'm playing a relatively new game, it's not right when it comes out. So if somebody wants me to cover something right when it comes out, funding for that is definitely not there right now. But if this night attack thing gets me a 10,000 subscribers, then if I'm getting 10,000 subscribers and 1,000 views on every video, this is just a rough estimate uh, as far as how I've seen the income happen. Restore 12 to a friendly character. That doesn't work. Because he's immune. Can't be targeted by hero spells or powers. Like, at that point, I would probably get $100 from Google within a month's time. And then I would have $100 to buy whatever the next big AAA game is that's coming out, which I guess might be Horizon. What is it? Dawn of Horizon Zero Fall. The robot dinosaurs game, whatever that one's called, I should know, but I slipped my mind right now. I'm having what I termed a manic moment at the moment because I'm very, very happy with this coverage. But and to get back to the idea, well, that I would need 10,000 subs or 10,000 views on all my videos. That number could be cut in half, and then in 2 months I could cover a new game. It could be cut into a quarter, and then and this is still just all rough estimates. But the idea is, if it was cut into 12, and I only got 1,000 like more views, then in a year I probably would be suited well to cover all the AAA games. Fine. Let's see. Should I destroy a minion and draw 2 cards? No, I don't think so. And I could be totally wrong about that. Maybe if I'm getting roughly 3-4 views on a video now and getting about $1 a week. For that to go up 100 times, I kind of only need like 300 views per video, and then that puts us right in YouTube's 301 policy, which was their old policy, where videos that didn't have 301 views didn't really even matter. That kind of starts to balance out and make some more sense. So I could be way off on the 10,000. In fact, I obviously am, now that I think about the numbers. Like, it seems like I probably only need 300 views on each video. And I hope people like my videos. Right now, my videos that are coming out, there is going to be a period, certainly with the Lego games, in which I'm just salty, and I hate to use that phrase, but I'm just upset with the Lego games for locking up on me. And that's possibly going to be for the rest of the series on the Legos. And so I'll see if I can maybe try and put a break in there a little bit. But as it's going, I'm just trying to finish up on that. And Resident Evil 6 is airing right now, and I wasn't very happy with the way Resident Evil 6 performed, and in comparison to the great success that RE7 has proven itself, I'm kind of just speaking bollocks, to use a British term now, because I covered it before RE7 came out, and in retrospect, if I should have aired that a month before the game came out, and that's something I will definitely want to consider. Let's continue down the Shaman card track. But of the 4 things that got mentioned, I think 4 things. It looks like there was 4 things on the Reddit. Maybe one of the things actually didn't get mentioned for some reason. Because I only recall 3 on the thing. Maybe for some reason it got eliminated or deleted or excluded. There was never any contact or anything with the our Diamond Club. If they tried to contact me, I didn't check my messages, so it would clearly and completely be my fault if they were trying to contact me or script anything or anything. So I assume whatever I did was acceptable. Hopefully that doesn't flood them with other inspiring YouTubers. Maybe if I was a smaller YouTuber, they would have not included me. Maybe they did some pre-screening and they said, look, this guy really is putting in the effort, because that's exactly what they said. We're willing to shout this out. But if somebody, on the other hand, had like 100 videos or 2 videos and then trying to promote there, and frankly, I think that's kind of fair if they did something like that, because that's the reason inherently why I waited 2 years to decide to even try to put my name out there. It's 2 years I wanted to get myself good. I'm very different from where I was 2 years ago. Maybe not as funny, but that funny kind of that funniness, that silliness of the Binding of Isaac kind of got burned out of me, and now I'm more serious and more consistent. And I'm doing a lot more than I was when I was just covering the Binding of Isaac and FTL. So job's done. But yeah, there's really nothing more I have to say. I'm just very, very happy with it. I'm happy that they even looked at it. The person who does the URL shortener went and watched my intro video, and he shortened the URL. Now, I would argue he shortened the URL to something that wasn't any shorter than youtube.com/c/RydoOfAll. But okay, that's the thing. I know that's part of what they do on Diamond Club as a gag, and I was more than happy to be a part of that, and probably I would have probably been upset if they hadn't done that. But he changed it to YOLO420.com/different swag, and different such a long name, but it's a more recognizable name. Because I have the path less traveled intro on my channel for new users. Now, oddly, I'd have to go look at the poem again. I don't think the word different is actually in the path less traveled. But maybe it is. So I'm just too busy and too lazy to go check it out. So that's that. I need to get on to my YouTube account, and I will comment on their video and say thanks for the shout out, and put the time link, because it is at about 1 hour and 14 minutes into the video at the very end. They did start covering other things, dressing up as silly characters, and I guess I would have been fine with that. I'm glad that they didn't, though. They did that for the other people. But I'm glad that my channel alone was enough to entertain, or at least intrigue people. They were very, very much kind of, Brian in particular, if I'm saying the right person's name, Brian Brushwood. I'm probably not saying the right name. I'm probably saying the other guy's name. Very shocked at just hour-long Skyrim I don't see a real way that you're gonna play all of Skyrim and it not be an hour long, honestly, per episode. 30-minute long Hearthstone videos. They clicked on Honey Pop. Inherently, that's the one they were gonna go for, and they specifically mentioned, he goes, the game that was banned on Twitch, and I'm like, was it banned on Twitch? Yes, I guess it was. I don't stream on Twitch, so I don't have to really worry too much about that. I just have to worry about YouTube and Simple Policy. And frankly, Honey Pop is kind of an outlier, so if people want me to cover more romance sex games, it's gonna be a lot of extra work that I would have to consider, just on the fact of how much nudity or unacceptable to YouTube content is actually in the game. Honey Pop in particular was a unique game in that there really is only about 12 sex scenes in the entire game and maybe 24 nudity pictures that I had to censor out, which is relatively small. If in comparison there was a game that was just non-stop that, I would have to do so much censorship, it would be no fun to show off. There also was an actual game, dating sim going on in Honey Pop that made it a good game even without those scenes. And so that too is part of the reason why I covered it. I also have some major stinkers on my channel, like Kerbal Space Program sucks. The audio's awful. I should get rid of it, replace it. I just don't have any interest in going back to that game. The spotlight of how do they do it was another comedy sex like experience. I barely even a game, and my coverage of that sucks because I screwed it up totally, and I just leave it up there, and I should delete that video too. And then in general, maybe depending on how much you can tolerate listening to me and whether I'm saying anything interesting, all my videos, depending on when you can tolerate me or not, might not be for you. I'm not going to say I suck because I have no reason to say that about myself, but sometimes I do. And that's also a consideration. Do I have anything that would gain from being nope. Alright. So that's enough about talking about me promoting myself and shilling myself. I don't know of anything else I could show myself on, so let me know down below. Otherwise, I guess I'm just not going to. It probably would be a great idea to grow in steady progression or bits and starts instead of attempting to just get to 1 million subscribers immediately. That's too much growth too fast. I would probably there's a good chance, a better chance of collapsing under the weight of all of that, of all the voices in the crowd asking for different things. That could be difficult to deal with. And I already have some every YouTuber has to deal with a lot of spammers. Every YouTuber has people that are trolling. Every YouTuber has people that are mean. And if I got up to 1 million subscribers and from 100, that 100-fold increase of that much negativity in my life might hurt me, although I doubt it. I think I may particularly be well suited to deal with such negativity more than most, just because I've worked in a customer service job for a long time, and I worked in a customer service job for a company that was giving terrible service, so negative people is something I dealt with quite a bit. And also the bosses in that job were pretty negative at near the end too, so that's that. Let's move on to our news for today. We barely are going to cover one thing. The Fallout High Texture pack is out. It recommends a 1080 GTX 8GB video card, which everybody denies in the comments there. They say you don't really need a 1080. I'm going to go ahead and kill this. It recommends an i7 processor, 5000 series, I recall. I didn't write it down. It recommends another 8GB of RAM and 56GB of hard drive space. And when all said and done, and I tried to look at the comparisons, I couldn't see a big improvement. And from what I hear, it's still not as good as some of the mods you can install for Fallout 4. So, like, I'm not sure exactly what they were trying to do there. In a lot of ways, I like the fact that there's an official high texture pack. I think that they are going to have to continue updating and tweaking that, though. There was, if I was to guess anything, I would say the high textures were the textures they wanted to use by default. And they tried to put it on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and in certain small instances, it didn't run smooth enough. And so then they lowered those small instances to the point where they had this collection of kind of the original cut of the game and then the lowered quality cut for consoles. And then that's probably what they also put on PC just for parity. And I bet this just gets back to that. Compare that to the mods. I'm pretty sure the mods are new art assets being redrawn at 4K, 8K resolutions, or and thus I think that's why the mods are going to look better. WoW tokens can now be used in other Blizzard games, so I suppose if I was huge into World of Warcraft, then I could, and I had WoW tokens, I could now convert that into packs of cards for Hearthstone or whatever else things you can purchase. I'm sure there's lots of things you can purchase for Heroes of the Storm, and I know you can purchase Overwatch crates, and that's the majority of what that is about, is that they are probably trying to migrate a significant portion of the people that they're afraid are going to quit or have already quit the World of Warcraft. They're trying to convert them to their new game Overwatch, which is a pretty huge conversion. Let's see. If I kill this one, then they can only do 9 damage. Well, 9 damage plus 5, which is 14, which means I lost. Okay. That's fine enough. We've got a lot more to talk about. Some of it kind of iffy. I was going through the articles I was going to add today, and let me again, if you're new to the channel, all my videos are pre-recorded, so I'm recording this. You're probably going to see this 2 months in the future of when it was recorded. So I'm talking about old news and just giving my opinion on that. This episode was kind of odd in that I actually talked about what was going on in my life, and that's why I said this is a blog, but a lot of times nothing is actually going on in my life. It's a pretty dull life. I play games and that's it. and I don't want to talk about politics usually. I'll cover it if it actually affects the video game industry. Otherwise, I try to leave it out. Uh, so yes, this stuff is going to be old news. I don't really have a way to fix that with Hearthstone in particular. I would have to release probably 60 episodes instantaneously or over the course of a few weekends or something, and then I would have to be really on the ball to record videos and make sure I don't miss any days. And I would much prefer to have a consistent every day at a certain hour, Hearthstone will come out on every Monday through Friday without fail, than to say, well, I'll talk about something newer and still not really have anything different to say than anybody else. My opinion's only worth the same as anyone else's opinion. And then on top of that, risk missing days and being inconsistent. If one thing here, I want to be consistent with my channel. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I end my episodes the same way. I ask you to like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell next to the subscribe button, comment, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. Comments and feedbacks is exactly what I was hoping to get. Yes, I do want views. Yes, I do want subscribers. Yes, I definitely want ad revenue. But feedback and comments to improve upon myself will help me a lot more than a single person watching a video or clicking on an ad, unless they click on an ad and spend thousands and thousands of dollars. But right now, that's not likely. I would much prefer feedback. Finally, down below in the description box, I have links to my social media sites: Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, and Battle.net. I would love for everybody to follow and friend me on all of those. That's your backup to see when videos are available in case you don't get notifications from YouTube, because YouTube's a little iffy, and it also helps me with those services to have more followers. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.